Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Mahabharata character series. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. Welcome everyone. We are discussing the life of Yudhishthira Maharaj, and last time we discussed how when Pandavas they were sent to forest, they had to undergo lots of tapasya. And although they were suffering so much, but still they continued to maintain their values. Yudhishthir Maharaj continued to serve brahmanas, and so many problems came ultimately because of the advice of Narad Muni and Vyasdev. They went to the higher realms of Badrik Ashram, and Arjuna went to do tapasya and to get celestial weapons. Then Bhima, somehow he was caught into difficulty, and then Yudhishthira, by his wisdom, by his firm adherence to scriptural and religious principles, he could help Bhima come out of that problem. And then we saw how that Arjuna came back, and then all the Pandavas, they were so very happy, and they came down, and that's what we discussed so far. And then we also saw that Krishna came to meet them when they were staying in Kamyavan. So after that, although Duryodhan had sent Pandavas to exile, still he was not satisfied. He wanted to see the misery of the Pandavas. That is how wretched and wicked he was. He was not just satisfied sending Pandavas to forest, he wanted to see how they were suffering in the forest. And he made a plan along with Shakuni and Karna. So they made a plan that they would go to the place where Pandavas were living and they would camp along with their wives and all the royal paraphernalia. So there was a royal procession which was arranged, and then Duryodhan, Karna, Shakuni, and all the Kauravas, along with their queens, they went and camped right opposite to the ashram, the kutir of Pandavas. And that's how they would sometimes laugh at Yudhishthir, and then all the queens, they would make fun of Draupadi. And that's how they were really giving tough time for the Pandavas. But still, Pandavas and Draupadi, they just tolerated everything. But the celestials, the devatas, they were not so happy. Indra was not so happy. You know. That is so when Duryodhan, he came to flaunt his wealth, that is the nature of arrogant people, arrogant and proud people. They want to show what they have. If some person gets a new car or new device, new gadget, he wants to show that I have got this. This is described as demoniac mentality. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, the demoniac people, the wretched and sinful people, evil people, they have this mentality of showing the world what they have. Idamadya maya labdham imam prapse manoratham idamasti idamapi me bhavishyati punardhanam. So Krishna says in the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that a demoniac person thinks, oh, just see, I have so much now and I have acquired so much. I will show this to the world, I'll increase this in the future, and then I'll enjoy. That is the sinful mentality people have. And that's why they cannot tolerate even what others have, because they want everything. That was the nature of Hiranyakashipu. Yesterday was Narsimha Chaturdashi, and we discussed, heard lots of glories of Narsimhadev, Prahlad Maharaj, and how Hiranyakashipu was so very sinful. He had everything, but still, this is how demonic people are. Only one small boy in the entire universe was not listening to Hiranyakashipu. That's all. The great devatas, it is said that even Brahma, apart from Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, everybody was serving Hiranyakashipu. To such an extent that even when Hiranyakashipu would go out on a walk, and generally, when it rains, it is drizzling. It looks very nice. So Hiranyakashipu, he had such powers that just by his movement of eyebrows, he could terrorize the devatas. And the devatas, they would understand what he wants, and then the shower would start. Mild, very, fine shower of rain. And if it becomes too much, Hiranyakashipu would have to just look up. So that's how powerful he was. That's the control and power he had. Only one person was against. Not against, he was just not listening. His own son Prahlad. So Duryodhan, although he had everything, in the absence of Pandavas, he made alliance with the kings of all the world. But just like Hiranyakashipu was not satisfied, Saitam nirjit kaku bekarat vishayan priyan yathopajosham bhunjano natripyat ajitendriyaha. This is a classic example of a person who has everything possible in the world. Now, people, they want to have money, all the facilities of enjoyment in the form of women and opposite gender, basically. Hiranyakashipu had everything, but still he was not satisfied. Why? Because his senses were not controlled. So the secret of satisfaction, secret of happiness is not in what we have, but how much sense control we have. Satisfaction, as we were discussing earlier also, it is a choice we have to make. And for that, sense control is very, very important. So Duryodhan, he had everything. He was practically the emperor of the whole world at that time. But still, he wanted to show the wealth, flaunt his wealth. And he was not able to tolerate even how Pandavas are living happily in the forest. There is a story. One time, a man was doing tapasya, and God appeared in front. And God asked, "So, what do you want?" God said, "But I have one thing. I'll give you everything. I have one condition. I'll give you whatever you want, but your neighbor will get double of what you will get." So he said, "Okay." He asked for a very nice bungalow, and Lord gave him. Immediately he saw his neighbor had two bungalows. He asked for a car, latest car. Neighbor had two cars. So whatever he was asking, neighbor was getting double. He was getting more and more frustrated and irritated. Ultimately, he said, "Oh God, make me blind in one eye." And his neighbor became completely blind. Both eyes gone. That is the nature of envy. No matter I will suffer, but my neighbor should suffer more. So Duryodhan, he was not satisfied. He wanted to flaunt his wealth. So he went, and they were camping right opposite. So one day they went to a lake nearby, Devatas were not happy. Indra was not happy, by what this Duryodhana was doing. So they sent a Gandharva, Chitrarath. And this Chitrarath, he was already camping along with all the Apsaras. Gandharva ladies and Apsaras, they were there at that lake. So Duryodhan, as proud he was, it is said that he would not even allow umbrella to be put on him in sunny day, because he had this conception, nobody can be above me. There is a story which comes at one time. Uh, Yudhishthira was told that you go and find in the kingdom anyone who is lower than you, and he was and Duryodhan was told, you go and find out in the kingdom anyone who is greater than you. Both of them came back and said, we could not find one. That's how arrogant Duryodhan was. So he was, when he came to that place, to that lake, he saw this Chitraratha camping. So he was, in his proud language, he said, this lake belongs to us. How can you stay at this place? You have to leave immediately. Chitraratha said, but we came here first. It is our right. And then, you know, Duryodhan challenged Chitraratha. Little did he know the power of this Gandharva. And within a short matter of time, we have discussed this in Karna's episode. In a short matter of time, Duryodhan was utterly defeated, humiliated, and Karna also ran away. And Chitraratha arrested all the queens. Royal ladies were arrested. Duryodhan was arrested. Somehow, one person, one soldier, he went and he requested Yudhishthira Maharaj that please help us. This is an emergency. But when Bhima came to know this, he was delighted. He said, it is great that Devatas are helping us to fulfill our mission. We could not do this. Now it is already done by the grace of Devatas. Yudhishthira was very grieved. He said, between us and Kauravas, we are 500. But for others, we are 105. Please go and help them. Bhima was not ready. Yudhishthir, he knew how to channelize Bhima's energy. He said, oh Bhima, what will be the greater happiness for you to see your enemies dependent on you? Duryodhana is now depending on you. If you save him, he'll be utterly humiliated. So Bhima said, yes, this is the right thing, right time to go and humiliate Duryodhana. And he also sent Arjuna. Yudhishthira also sent Arjuna. And Bhima and Arjuna, they went and they very easily defeated all the Gandharvas. They released the royal ladies, released Duryodhan, and Duryodhan then was brought in front of Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira still maintained his calm and grave nature. He said, Duryodhan. And he told Bhima and Arjuna, because they were about to kill Duryodhan. He said, please, we should not kill Duryodhan because he is husband of our sister Dushala, and we don't want her to become widow. So please release him. This is very interesting. If someone is behaving with us in a wrong way, as Radhanath Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was telling once, if someone behaves with us in a wrong way, we should not repay back in the same currency, and neither should we keep that currency with us to be used in future against somebody or the same person. We should have firm conviction about firm conviction and firm faith in our currency, in the currency of virtue, in the currency of being genuine followers of dharma. That is the currency we should have. and we should have firm faith in that. We should have a proper understanding of what it requires, what is the value of this currency. If somebody does not realize the value of currency he has, he will think, oh, it is an ordinary paper, right? If a child is given a 2000 rupee note and a chocolate, the child will choose a chocolate over 2000 rupee note because he does not understand the value of 2000 rupee. If we don't understand the value of practicing dharma in our life, practicing Krishna consciousness in our life, we will lose it. We will trade it off for something else. That is what this material energy is doing every moment, trying to trade off. Material energy, Maya Devi, she is always ready to test our convictions, to test our determination, to follow dharmic life, to follow Krishna consciousness. She keeps, showing so many temptations and trying to attract our mind, trying to, elude us, allure us. She will say, "Oh, this is not the right way." It's like if somebody gets a ticket, flight ticket to go to some place. We have bought a flight ticket to go to the spiritual world. Vaikuntha Viman, the ticket is there with us in the form of our process of Krishna consciousness, chanting, hearing. Material energy always tries to, she's trying to trade off. This ticket is not original. I'll give you original ticket. Just give me that ticket. Just stop chanting and you will be happy. But we don't have to trade off. Because if we have firm faith and proper understanding of what we have received, then we will never give that ticket in return in exchange of anything else. If somebody understands the value of diamond, he will never give that diamond for few broken pieces of glass. you know and Yudhishthira, he had this understanding, firm conviction in the process of dharma. So therefore he said, "Oh Duryodhan, please don't put yourself in troubles. Go back and enjoy your kingdom." you know in this way, 12 years had passed, and now Pandavas were thinking how they will hide during 1 year of incognito, Agyatvas. Although, they had the blessings of Dharma, but still, they wanted to prepare themselves properly. As they were contemplating on this, one Brahmana came and he said, "O great king, some mystical person, mystical creature has stolen my sticks, sacrificial sticks, and he's running away. Please do something." So as soon as Pandavas they heard this request from this Brahmana, they immediately took their weapons and they were charging behind this creature, mystical creature it was. And as they were charging behind him, mysteriously this creature disappeared. For Kshatriyas, the protection of Brahmanas is their foremost duty. So Bhima, Yudhishthir, Arjuna, Nakul, Sahadev, all were there. They started lamenting. Bhima said, "You know why this has happened today? Because he was telling to Yudhishthir, because you didn't allow me to kill Duryodhan that day. That's why this happened." So he was blaming Yudhishthir for something completely different. Arjuna also said, "Yes, because I didn't kill Karna, that's why this is happening." And in this way, everybody started giving their reasons. Yudhishthir, he understood that it is going nowhere, so he wanted to think something. But because all of them, because they were chasing this creature, they were thirsty. So Yudhishthir, he told Nakul, "Nakul, Please go and find some water body. We need to drink water. Get some water. So this Nakula, he went and he saw a very beautiful, crystal clear lake with beautiful greenery around. Just looking at that, scene was really soothing. As he was just about to take water from that pond, he heard a voice. He said, "You have to answer my questions. This lake belongs to me. After you answer, then only you can take water." He looked around, he could not see anyone. He didn't care for that voice. He drank water and immediately he fell down unconscious. He was not returning back, Nakula. Yudhishthir, he started worrying. He sent Sahadeva. Same thing happened to Sahadeva also. He also didn't take any attention. He drank water, he also fell unconscious. Arjuna came. He saw Nakul and Sahadev, fallen unconscious, practically looking dead. He was aghast. He looked around, he heard the same voice. You know, you have to answer my questions. He thought maybe it is some mystical, some ghost or some demon or some person sent by Duryodhan. He started shooting arrows in all the directions. Still, nothing happened. Arjuna thought maybe I should drink water and then I'll, handle this. He also drank and fell unconscious. Then Bhima also came. He also fell trapped. And now nobody, all the four brothers gone, not returning back. Yudhishthira was becoming more and more worried. And he came. And when he saw his four brothers practically dead, unconscious, no symptoms of life, he started lamenting. "Oh Arjuna, you are supposed to be undefeated. How is it possible that you are defeated? Oh Bhima, you are so very powerful. You are practically having the power of 10,000 elephants. How can you be defeated?" But he realized there were no signs of war, no signs of any fighting, nothing. So, anyways, he was also getting thirsty. He was about to drink water. He thought, let me drink water and then I'll investigate. As he was about to drink water, the same voice, "Please answer my questions. Uh, Without answering my questions, you cannot drink this water." Yudhishthir, he stopped. He said, "I will answer your questions, but first you will have to tell me who are you." The voice said, "I am a crane and this lake belongs to me." Yudhishthir looked around and on a tree in front, he saw there was a crane sitting. He said, "You can't be a crane. You must be some celestial. No ordinary person can kill my brothers. Forget about a crane killing them. You must be some devata." The crane refused to reveal his identity. He said, "First you have to answer my questions, then I'll tell you who am I." Yudhishthir was also very thirsty, but still, because he had natural love for scriptures, he said, "Okay, I will answer your questions." He would be delighted, just having the discussions about dharma. So he did not, retaliate. And as he agreed, this crane transformed himself into a yaksha. And he started asking many wonderful questions. And the Yaksha Prashna, it is a very wonderful section in Mahabharata. This Yaksha asks many questions. We'll discuss two or three of them. One of them is Yaksha says, "What is a way to enlightenment? How one can advance in spiritual life?" Yudhishthira Maharaj said, "Tarko pratishto shrutayo vibhinnau nasa rishir yasya matam na bhinnam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhaya mahajano yena gata sapantha." He says, Yudhishthira Maharaj said that in this world, every person has a different way of thinking. Everybody has a different way of processing the knowledge. What is the actual right path? Mahajano yena gatah sa pantha. Just follow the path which is, you know, traversed by great personalities. That is the safest path. That is how we have to practice our spiritual life. Just follow the instructions of superior authorities. That just take inspiration from the senior Vaishnavas. They are called Mahajana. That's what Krishna is telling to Arjuna also. Whatever great people do, common people follow. Yadyad acharati shreshta tatta devetaro jana. So therefore, when we follow the authorities, when we follow the great souls, it is so very easy to practice spiritual life. There is no confusion then. Any confusion, any doubt we have about spiritual life, just approach a bona fide representative of Krishna consciousness. Don't go to anybody who claims himself as a, a sadhu or a guru. You have to first understand, is this person authentic, bona fide, coming in parampara? Therefore, this parampara system is very, very important. Many times people are confused. In India, there are hundreds and thousands of societies. Which one to follow? Which is the best one? Just ask few simple questions. You know, just 5 questions if you ask and you are getting satisfactory answers. You should, understand this is a right organization or society. First, where am I? And this is very easy question. Everybody can say that, you are in this material world. Okay, great. Where do I have to go? If I follow your process, where will I go? This is a very difficult question. And third question is, how to go? What is the process? Fourth question, after reaching the place where you are recommending, what will be my experience? Fifth question, while going on the way during the journey, what will be my experience? And Krishna consciousness gives such wonderful answers, very crystal clear understanding of spiritual life, that we are in this material world. We have to go to the place where there is no birth, no old age, no disease, no death. That is the place where Krishna is living, the abode of Krishna. What is the process? Simply by hearing and chanting the names of Lord, this Hare Krishna mantra, with faith, with sincerity, we can achieve that place. What will be the experience after reaching there? It is only happiness. And what is the experience during the journey? Susukham kartum avyayam. So therefore, anybody who can give this answer satisfactorily, that is a bona fide representative. How can we understand that this is a bona fide representative? Because unless one learns the knowledge from his teacher, he cannot give these answers properly. So therefore, the parampara system is very, very important. So therefore, Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying, Mahajano yena gatah sa pantha. One more question he asks, what is the most surprising thing in this world? Yudhishthira says, Ahani ahani bhutani gacchanti ha yamalayam sheshasthavaram icchanti kima sharyatah param. He says, every moment people are dying. And especially during this COVID times, you can see this practically. It is obvious. People are dying anyways, always. Just because we are not aware of the statistics. But during these COVID times, we are aware of the statistics. Although it is not much, but still, just the numbers are mind boggling. So Yudhishthir is saying, Ahani Ahani Bhutani, are people are dying and going to the abode of death every second. But those who are remaining, they think, nahi, 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 nahi. We will not die so soon. Abhi samay hai. That is the irony of life. As it is said, it is as sure as death. That means death, everybody has to go through this death. But still people think, nahi, 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 ab bhi nahi aayega, It is said when a death himself knocks the door, a billionaire also cannot bribe death. A most beautiful woman cannot charm death. A most intelligent person cannot debate with death. Everybody has to suffer. But still people think, nahi, 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 still I have time. And keep on making plans. Somebody was telling me this, that nowadays, people they wear these t-shirts, on that it is written apna time aayega. you know so somebody sent a nice message that जब 18 साल के थे, when 18 years old, लगता था अपना टाइम आएगा. Okay, 30 years went by, 30 साल के हो गए, तभी भी लगता था अपना टाइम आएगा. 40 साल के हो गए, फिर भी आशा थी अपना टाइम आएगा. 50 साल के हो गए, बच्चे बड़े हो गए, अपना टाइम तो आया ही नहीं. फिर 60 साल के हुए और एक दिन अचानक सीने में दर्द हुआ और हॉस्पिटल गए तो डॉक्टर ने बोला, अरे इनके रिश्तेदारों को बुला लो, इनका टाइम आ गया है. दैट इज सैड फैक्ट ऑफ लाइफ. एवरीबॉडी थिंक्स नहीं नहीं नहीं, अपना टाइम आएगा. So that is the most surprising thing. So in this way, so many answers, wonderful questions and wonderful answers were given by Yudhishthir Maharaj. Yaksha was very pleased and he said, I am so very satisfied by your answers. Please ask for benediction. Now, Yudhishthir, such an amazing personality, such a epitome of Dharma himself. He says, and this Yaksha said, I'll revive one of your brothers. Please ask. Yudhishthir said, please revive Nakul. So this Yaksha, he was surprised. He said, you could have asked for Bhima. He was far more powerful. With the help of Bhima, you could have got your kingdom back. You could have asked for Arjuna. He has got celestial weapons. And he could have helped you win the war. Why did you ask for Nakul? Yudhishthir said, I am still living because from my mother, I am the son still alive. But there is no son alive from Madari. Madari had two sons, you know, Nakul and Sahadev. So there is nobody from her. So therefore, I have to ask for one of the sons of Madari. Therefore, I asked for Nakul. He said, it is virtue alone which stays in the world, and I can never abandon virtue. Therefore, please give me one of the sons of Madari. Please revive Nakul. Yaksha said, I am so very pleased by your determination and conviction to follow the path of virtue. I will revive all your 5 brothers. That is the path of virtue. Path of virtue is a path of ultimate well-being. People in this world, they are many times tempted by immediate benefits. Krishna consciousness or spiritual life teaches one to see the ultimate benefit. There are two things, Shreyas and Preyas. Preyas means immediate benefit. Shreyas means the long-term benefit. This material modern civilization teaches us, trains our mind to see the immediate benefit. Don't worry about the ultimate benefit, long-term benefit, just focus on the immediate benefit. And that's why people, they fall down to any sinful thing, any immoral activity, any adharmic activity, because they think, oh, abhi maza aa raha hai yaar. Why should we think of something which is going to come in the future? So we have to understand that if we follow the path of virtue, you know, then it will award us benefit, you know, and that is what is very, very tempting many times, because we are not seeing the results. Spiritual life, the results are not tangible in that sense, in other sense, in one sense. It is not gross. When you are working in the world, you are getting some tangible benefits in the form of money, fame, prestige, the avenues of enjoyment. In spiritual life, things are not many times tangible. The faith which we have, the convictions, experience of God, that is not tangible many times. We cannot experience it grossly. It is experience of heart. You know. That's why it is so very tempting to just to follow our old patterns of material life. It is so very tempting to slip to hypocrisy. But if we are there with people who are following dharma, who are following moral values, then it becomes easy. In our Krishna consciousness also, we want to cultivate this faith, the virtue of faith. It is our currency in our spiritual life. That's the only currency which we have to develop, which we have to acquire, faith. It is said many times, faith does not make sense, it makes miracles. श्रद्धा शब्दे विश्वास कहे सुदृढ़ निश्चय कृष्णे भक्ति कोयले सर्व कर्म कृत है. What is faith? Faith means we should have firm conviction that if I follow the principles of spiritual life, everything will be done. That is a faith. Many times it is not tangible. How to grow in our faith? By being with people who have faith, by practicing the process of Krishna consciousness with seriousness, without any ulterior motives. That is the only way we can develop our faith. So, in this way, all the brothers were revived and they got up. They understood that they were practically dead and they came back. They looked at Yudhishthira Maharaj, so very grateful because of Yudhishthir. They brought their life back. They realized the glory of Yudhishthir all the more. They understood that they always knew that their brother Yudhishthir is a really epitome of dharma. But today they actually experienced it. And all the five brothers, they were confused and they asked Yaksha, "Who are you?" So this Yaksha, he revealed himself as Dharmaraj. Yudhishthir was the son of Dharmaraj himself. And Dharmaraj, he said, "Oh Yudhishthir, I am your father. Vidura is my expansion. I just came here to test you. And you have passed the test. Ask benediction from me." Yudhishthir, he said, "Oh father, oh Dharmaraj, that Brahman that came, his sacrificial sticks were stolen by some person. Please, bring, please arrange for those sacrificial sticks." Dharmaraj said, "I only came in that form of that creature and stole all those sticks because I wanted to test you all. Ask for some benediction." And he said, "Actually, I have already given them back." Yudhishthir said, "Although this is enough for me, I don't want anything else. Service to the Brahmanas is the highest thing for me in life. I don't want anything. But if you are pleased with us, give us one benediction." He said, "Now we have to go for 1 year of incognito, agyatavas. Please bless us." that we don't get recognized during this Agyatavas. Dharma said, I bless you all that nobody will be able to recognize you, even if you walk in the middle of the street. Nobody will recognize you. Ask for more benedictions. Yudhishthira said, if you are pleased, then please bless me, that I may never fall to avarice, greed, folly, anger, and I may always be inclined to austerity, charity, and truth. Because he had seen that how Duryodhan, he was so very, fallen into avarice. Bhima got affected by anger. He himself, he was thinking that I got affected by greed for more money and I engaged in gambling. Dharma said, Arey, you don't have any of these. You have no avarice, anger, greed. You are already free. You are already following the principles of charity, austerity, and truth. But still, I bless you. Again, I bless you. And after that, Dharma disappeared. So now, all of them, they were planning. And this Dharma, he told that you all go to the kingdom of Virat. So Pandavas, they went to the kingdom of Virat. And before entering the kingdom, they had to plan. And they had their few servants also with them. So Yudhishthir, he told Indrasena. Indrasena was the head of their servants. So he said, Indrasena, now you should not come with us. You go to the kingdom of Drupada. You go to the kingdom of Yadavas, and they will take care of you nicely. And if somebody asks you about us, you just tell them that one day Yudhishthir, Pandavas, Draupadi, they all disappeared without telling anything to us. And in this way, they all departed. And then Dhaumya was there, their spiritual master. Yudhishthir said, O Dhaumya, you please go to the kingdom of Drupada. He will take care of you nicely. And after bidding farewell to everyone, they started planning. Although he said, by the blessings of Dharmaraj, will not be recognized, but still we have to take all precautions. This is very interesting. Whenever we get blessings, the blessings is not a license for irresponsibility. We have got so much of blessings in our path of spiritual life. By the blessings of superiors, we have got this understanding of Krishna consciousness. It is our responsibility to take advantage of it and don't become irresponsible. One time, one devotee, he asked Srila Prabhupada, he said, Srila Prabhupada, please give me your mercy so that I can follow your instructions. Prabhupada said, my mercy is that I have given you my instructions and now you have to follow it. He gave an example. He said, if a person has fallen in the well and if a rope is thrown, then the person cannot, pray, let my fingers curl around the rope. No, he has to take that endeavor of catching hold of that rope very strongly. If we are not responsible, if we are not ourselves strong in the process of Krishna consciousness, then we will not be able to succeed. We have been given so much, blessings are there, but we have to be individually responsible. We have the blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, we have the blessings of current acharyas, but if we don't practice, if we won't practice seriously, sincerely, then we cannot just blame anyone. Because as we hear in the Damodar Leela, two things are required, our endeavors and mercy. And in fact, Our endeavors, they attract the mercy of Krishna. If we are not endeavoring to the best of our capacity, then we will not get the grace of Lord. So the Pandavas, although they got the blessings, Yudhishthir Maharaj got the blessings of Dharmaraj, that you will not be recognized. You all will be, will not be recognized. But still, they were making all the plans. We have to use our intelligence. We have to, use our, rational intelligence to find out how I can go ahead in spiritual life. It will, the mercy will come, but we have to make all the endeavors. We have to plan how we want to go ahead in spiritual life. It should not be just a haphazard thing. To do any endeavor, to run a business, we do so much of planning. To become a wealthy person, people do so much of planning just because they want some wealth. What do we want? We want the greatest wealth of Krishna consciousness. Prema Ratana Dhan. That is the highest jewel which we can get in our existence, material existence. And many times we become so very relaxed and, okay, chalega, we'll do someday properly. Abhi to dheere dheere karte hain aaram se. We have to be really attentive, responsible for our own advancement, and then Krishna's grace will come. Just like Pandavas were so very responsible. So Pandavas, as they were discussing, all the four brothers, they asked Yudhishthir. He said, "You are such a regal person," they said. "How will you hide yourself?" Yudhishthir said, I'll become Brahmana named Kanka, and I will go and help entertain the king with my gambling, because while Yudhishthir was in forest, he knew that in future Duryodhan may again challenge him for gambling. So he learned the art of gambling also from a sage called Vrishaparva, and he became very expert. So he said, I will become the personal minister of the king, and I'll entertain him by gambling. And then Bhima said, I will become the cook, Vallabh, because Bhima was naturally attracted to food. In that way, he would get opportunity to eat properly also. And then Arjuna, because he was cursed to become a eunuch. You know, we'll discuss about this story and we'll discuss about Arjuna, how Arjuna was cursed by Urvashi to become a eunuch. So he said, I'll be known as Brihannalla, and I'll be the dance teacher of the daughter of Virat. It was so very humiliating for a person like Arjuna to behave and act like a eunuch. Actually, he became a eunuch, but still, he, underwent all that trouble, all that pain. Nakula said, I'll take care of the horses because I'm good at that. Sahadev said, I like to take care of the cows. I'll take care of the cows of the royal family. I'll be known as Tantripal. Draupadi, she said, I will become the Sairindri woman. Sairindri means one who takes care of the queens. For a queen like Draupadi to become the servant of another queen, it was very, very intolerable. But still, to serve her husband, she was ready to do anything. So in this way, all of them planned, and Yudhishthir, because he knew that all of my brothers and Draupadi, they had to take care of their own disguise. So he allowed them to choose their roles. So Pandavas, they had unity, but all the Pandavas, they had individuality also. That is a unique thing which attracted Krishna. Although Pandavas were so very powerful, they had wonderful skills, but still they were united. One time Srila Prabhupada, he was asked, Which department is your favorite department? You know, there are many departments in in ISKCON. DT department, book distribution department, management, and so many things. Kitchen. Prabhupada said, in whichever departments devotees cooperate among each other, that is a dearmost department for me. So unity, cooperation is very, very crucial for any society to develop and grow. Everyone in this world is unique, and we should allow them to use their skills, their expertise, the way people want to serve. We should allow them to use that in the service of Krishna. Especially when it comes to parents. It is very important for a father or mother to find out what their child is good at and expert at, comfortable at, and allow them to grow in their skills. Many times, just like Duryodhan, just like Dhritarashtra, he could not become the king. He wanted his son to become the king. So sometimes parents think, oh, I could not do this, my son should do this. Everybody has a different, unique, expertise. And Yudhishthira, he allowed all his brothers to work according to the way they wanted. So then Yudhishthira said, now we should not enter together. Individually, we should enter separately so that nobody recognizes us. So first, Yudhishthira entered and he went right to the palace of the king. And because he was Brahmana, and because during the Vanvas, they had grown up long beards, and because of the austerities they did, they had become very thin and lean. So nobody was able to recognize them anyways. So Yudhishthir, he went right up to the palace, and because he was a Brahmana, he was straight away allowed to meet the king. And just by looking at Yudhishthir and talking to him, Virat, the king of Virat, he realized, oh, this person is a very learned, very knowledgeable person on dharma. And he immediately appointed him as his personal assistant and personal advisor. And also because he was expert at gambling, so king also liked that. And in this way, all the other brothers, they slowly entered, and then Draupadi also entered, and they were staying together in the kingdom of Virat. In this way, 1 year passed by. So many things happened during 1 year. We'll discuss about them when we'll discuss about Bhima and Arjun. So then, after 1 year passed by, Uttara got married. Uttara is the daughter of Virat. She got married to Abhimanyu, and then the Kauravas were not able to recognize. Pandavas find them, so ultimately they had to give their kingdom back. But as was expected, Kauravas refused to give their kingdom. Pandavas, they always wanted to, avoid this war. They sent a peace message. Krishna, along with Krishna, they sent a peace message and said, Yudhishthira said, we'll be satisfied with just 5 villages. We don't want even half of the kingdom. Just give us 5 villages, we'll be happy. Duryodhana was so very adamant, so very wretched, so very greedy. He said, I will not even allow to give even the land which is holding the tip of a needle. That much land also I'll not give. So ultimately war was evident, inevitable. And then Yudhishthir, he told Bhima that now we have to prepare for the war. Earlier, Yudhishthir said He told Bhima, "Oh Bhima, we don't want to fight," because that time he was following his virtue of following the orders of the elders. But now he had to get the kingdom back to establish the principles of dharma. So now, the first day of the war, just before the war started, to everyone's surprise, Yudhishthir Maharaj, he got down from this chariot, took off his armor, and started walking off towards the Kauravas. Pandavas were shocked. They were calling, "Oh Yudhishthir Maharaj, please stop. Why are you going towards Pandavas without any armor?" Kauravas started jeering. They were so very jubilant. They started thinking, "Oh, just see, just by looking at our army, Yudhishthir has become afraid, and as a coward, he is coming to surrender to us." As they were, laughing and speaking so many things, Yudhishthir, you know, he went to Bhishma first, and he started speaking something. What did he tell? That we'll discuss next time. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So we'll stop here. Any
Thank you so
questions?
much, Prabhuji. This is, you know, when you hear about the life of Yudhishthira Maharaj, it seems, uh, one can understand what actually virtue is. Very difficult to otherwise apply it in our lives. And so probably he was, he could really, we hear the statement, a person's greatness is estimated by how he tolerates the provoking situations. So he could really tolerate the provoking situation in the means like like uh, um, like he was thirsty, of course, but that became a minor issue. But his four brothers were dead in front of him, and
Yeah,
still he could answer those questions in such a uh, he was not provoked by that situation.
right.
So, but in the gambling match, in a way, he was kind of provoked. So, how do we understand this?
Yeah. Yes. We had discussed about gambling match, and during that, we had discussed that. And although Yudhishthir Maharaj is such a dharmaraj and a follower of dharmic principles, and so many calamities came in the life of Pandavas. Not only Yudhishthir, all the Pandavas they suffered. As Kunti Maharani says in her prayers, Vishan Mahagne Purushad Darshana Asat Sabhaya Vanvasa Krichrataha Mridhe Mridhe Nek Maharatha Strato Draunyash Tatraschasma Hare Bhirakshita. So many problems came in the life of Pandavas. Bhima was about to be burnt, about to be poisoned. All the Pandavas they were about to be burnt. Then they had to face man-eating demons. Then the Kaurava warriors, and then Ashwatthama killed the five sons of Draupadi, and then he also shot Brahmastra to kill Parikshit. So many problems came. So when problems come in the life of such a great devotee or great soul, we have to be very very clear and very uh, nice understanding of why this is happening to them, and why do even great people commit mistakes. We see so many of the great people mentioned in the scriptures doing mistakes. Parikshit Maharaj made the mistake of putting dead snake on the shoulders of Shamik Rishi. You know, so mistakes are done. Indra keeps committing mistake. Such a great, powerful personality, such a great devotee of the Lord, he also keeps committing mistakes. Yudhishthir made this mistake of gambling. So there are two things: when problems come in the life of great souls, pure devotees, we should understand that Lord, when wants to show something or tell something, he uses his own trusted people to make a very, very strong statement that when problem comes in the life, this is how you should deal with it. You know, Prabhupada would tell that when a daughter-in-law comes in the home, many times mother-in-law chastises her own daughter to teach the daughter-in-law, because daughter is trusted. She knows why my mother is chastising me. So when problem comes in the life of devotees they know that these problems have come, and now I have to deal with it in such a way that others faith will increase. That is their understanding, and of course out of their humility they think that this is because of their bad karma. But when devotees they deal with it in a right way, it sets a ideal standard. And many times the devotees they make mistakes. Why? Again, for the same reason. The When the mistakes are committed by great personalities, it is to tell us that this is how this sin or this is so very dangerous, that a great person like Yudhishthir can also fall down, great person like Indra can also fall down, great person like Parikshit Maharaj can also make mistake. How careful we should be, just to teach us a lesson. Itne bade bade log, they are also falling down, they are also committing mistakes. How we should be careful. you know we hear in the story that even Brahmaji got attracted to his own daughter. That is not to demean the glory of Brahma. you know Even Brihaspati and great demigods are also engaging in something immoral, not to demean them, but to show the power of lust, to show the power of greed, to show the power of anger. So all these apparent mistakes, they do not just demean their glory. The pure devotees, they continue to render their devotional service properly, they follow the spiritual life properly, they become successful, and we have to learn proper lessons. But if we just start criticizing them and blaming them for what wrong they have done, we will get destroyed. you know so just like there is a story in our ISKCON movement also, that in the beginning days one of the ISKCON sannyasis, he could not maintain his sannyas vows. He went to his Srila Prabhupada and said humbly, he submitted that I cannot follow my sannyas, so please give permission so that I can get married. Prabhupada gave all the blessings. He said, please continue serving. And one servant of Srila Prabhupada, he came to know and he started speaking about it to everybody. As a result of that, this sannyasi, he came to know and he became so sad. He left ISKCON. But because of the offense, the servant of Prabhupada also could not continue. He also left. So when great souls, advanced people, they commit mistakes, we don't have to blame them. We have to just learn lessons and understand the grave uh, nature of the anarthas, the greed, anger, lust. As Krishna says, Trividham narakasyedam dwaram nashanam atmanah. Kama krodha tha lobha tasmadetat trayam tyajet. So this lust, anger and greed, they are the three gateways to hell. And to show us very graphically, Krishna keeps on doing so many arrangements so that we realize that how careful we should be while dealing with these anarthas. That is the reason.
Yes, Prabhuji. I understood that they actually are making those mistakes so that we learn that we are not supposed to make those mistakes. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. But I really, if anybody else has any question. So Prabhuji, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Please pray for all of us who are listening and others also, that we can follow in the footsteps of Yudhishthira Maharaj and be able to, develop those virtues for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna.
You all please pray that I can also develop. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.